Okay, we are back. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you guys hear me, if I'm still coming in low. If I'm still coming in low, then I will unplug my headphones. Back all good? Am I still low? Okay, we're gonna. How about now? You guys hear me okay now? Yeah, better. Okay, so let me show you where I slept last night so that I didn't keep my wife away. Why am I screaming? I slept here because I am under the weather. It started with a scratchy throat that I was fighting for a while. Got into a stuffy nose. I can't even breathe out of my nose. Head cold is just kicking my ass. I was actually originally going to do a scope. Yeah, I know. On work ethic and how my day off is still the average person's full work day. So I was going to go in 12 to 9. I was going to go in 1 to 9. And that's like, I still felt guilty. Hong Kong bird flu. I still felt guilty about it, like in my mind. And the reality is, like, it's my own company, it's my own business. I'm not gonna get in trouble. Like if I didn't go into work today at all, like nobody's gonna fire me. But I still felt this obligation. I still wanted to work dogs. I still wanted to help my team. I still wanted to work with my trainers and help get them better. So I called in to Andrew, checked to see how things are going. I was like, all good, I'm on my way, I'm coming in. He was like, actually, we really don't need you, don't come in. And I was like, you sure? But if I'm there, we can do this. And he was like, no, like, stay your ass home. And I was like, all right. So it's hard for me to do it. That's another thing too. It's hard for me to do it. Yoda, I can absolutely take yours. Where I was sitting here, I took my dog for a walk and I was like, well, I got to do something. So like I spoke with Jen. We have some new blogs coming out. I want to let you know we're going to start blogging. We should have our first blog out to you guys within the next couple of days. Some of those, the first couple, are going to be topics that we've done on Periscope because they make for great blogs. And that actually got into what I want to talk about today, which is the main topic. Bruce Lee would have been an awesome dog trainer. I wanted to title it, Bruce Lee would have been a kick-ass dog trainer. And we'll kind of get into that. So a lot of people... I think for the most part, my type of clients aren't the ones that ask me what my dog training method is. I was curious to know what your method of dog training was and this and that, because if we're so focused on like how something is being done, aside from seeing the whole picture, then we might be kind of missing the point. And that's not to say that like the route to getting there isn't important, because it absolutely is. But unfortunately, most people that ask that question are limiting themselves, thinking that like there's only one way to kind of do something, and then that's a huge issue. So a lot of people that know me know that when people ask what is my method of dog training, I tell them the Bruce Lee method of dog training, and it throws them for a loop. They're like, huh? But he's known, and I've said this before, if you guys have been following me, you know I've said this a couple of times. I'm a huge fan of him. He has a very popular quote that basically, and I might butcher this a little bit, it's absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and create what is uniquely your own. And that kind of open-minded approach to martial arts is why he's kind of like the pioneer of mixed martial arts. At a time where you swore by karate, she swore by jiu-jitsu. Yeah, exactly. I swore by taekwondo, you swore by Muay Thai, and everyone thought that their method was the best, or like their martial arts was the best. He spent time studying it all. Even if he was like, oh, this isn't practical for this is nice, but it wouldn't do good in a real world situation. He studied it all, and he was well versed in it all. And that's something that I strive to do every day with dog training, which is why I encourage, and I know a lot of people come to me, and this is kind of funny. A lot of people come to me submitting resumes saying that we're one of the first companies that they've come across that encourages their staff going to learn from other people. A lot of people are like, don't learn from them, our way only, this, that, and I actually encourage that with all my staff and trainers. So It's something that we do, my brother and I. Like, I want to learn from trick trainers. I want to learn from super hardcore old school trainers. I want to learn from people that call themselves balance trainers. I want to learn from people who are doing precision sport work that aren't even doing rehab. I want to learn from it all and see what I can take that I think is good, discard what might be useless to me at the time that might end up helping me later on, and then create what is uniquely my own, what makes me kind of different, right? And that, simply put, is my method of dog training. I don't limit myself. So a lot of this scope is to kind of address what kind of trainer I am, what type of trainer I am, and I'm a no limit dog trainer. With that in mind, I also want people to understand it doesn't mean that anything is on the table, but I am open-minded to seeing stuff from a common sense point of view. That's the most important. I'm a common sense dog trainer, right? And I think it's really important that people kind of take on that approach, because that approach allows you to go into a situation pre-judgment, so you can see things for what you're observing. And also, even if you're seeing something that you don't agree with, have a mind that's open enough to say, I don't like the way they're using that, but I think if I actually tried that, I can spin it this way, or I think it might help for this situation. And I think that's the key to, like, continuing to grow as a trainer and a handler is always seeking to learn more from mistakes, from people you don't agree with, and so on and so forth. Are you really, Jackie? Awesome. You know what? For you, I think that's a really good step, because Jeff and Sean and Sean and Laura focus a lot on personal growth and business and stuff, and they're actually good friends of mine, and I support them. I support you, so I absolutely love it. Going into workshops and seminars, I just posted on a Facebook page, and I've been getting yelled at last year for talking about this last minute. I don't want to promote myself too much, but at the same time, Tyler Muto and I do have a seminar. We're only offering one this year, Understanding Canine Behavior. And I will go ahead and say, this is the only thing I'm going to say about it. It's one of the most well-rounded seminars and workshops that I've ever been a part of, that I've attended or actually taught. We're doing that June 2nd to the 5th. It is in Buffalo, New York, Niagara, New York. People are coming from all over the world, Australia, New Zealand. So I mean, there's really no excuse not to be there. But it's an awesome time. Hopefully we'll be doing that next year, but I mean, that's not for you, Jackie. You're doing your one thing, so stick with it. I love Sean and Laura, but for anybody else, that's that. Going back to kind of Bruce Lee, this is another thing that's interesting, is people that are already closed-minded, people that already come in with this assumption. Okay, let's say, for example, Blake is the guy that uses prong collars and remote collars. The topic of Bruce Lee would have been an awesome dog trainer. Someone that is so close-minded and like judgmental is gonna go into saying, yeah, because Bruce Lee was like awesome kicking and Blake kicks his dogs. That's probably what that scope is about. That's how like narrow-minded like people are, not understanding that like Bruce Lee was the pioneer of like having an open mind for MMA. So you know what it is? I think in NYC you need to have space. And although I do have a training facility, we're super busy at our training facility. And to take the full 8 to 9 hour days that a seminar is for 4 days straight, we wouldn't be able to get work done. So I don't have a space. Like if I had a facility in Ohio, it would be acres upon acres. You know, in a city we don't have that. So we really need the space, and the space is money. The cool thing is that venues reach out to Tyler and myself to host us, and it's a mutual kind of benefit thing. So now that Tyler's kid is getting a little bit older and he's had some time to spend with him, hopefully next year we'll be doing more than just one, but this year we're only doing one. Going back to Bruce Lee, it's very important that anything you do, anybody that you want to learn from, you go in with an open mind, and your goal is to continue learning. That's it. That's my method of dog training I wanted to share. But I also wanted to take this time to kind of end that topic, unless people had questions about that, and then jump right into a little bit of Q&A. We've skipped 2 weeks of Dog Behavior Question Tuesday on our YouTube channel. we've just been so busy with a lot of other things. But blogs are coming out. I want to say within another week we'll have our first blog out, and we should get on a nice path where we're doing at least one blog a week. So along with these periscopes, we'll get some nice blogs in there, and hopefully we'll get some good feedback for that. Well, I appreciate it, Randy. What do I look for in a resume? You want to know what? The resume almost doesn't matter. And I don't get me wrong, I still want people sending resumes in and everything, but at the same time, we're also going to be doing I'm going to be doing a seminar, I believe in February next year. It's a 2-day seminar. It's going to go down in Florida. It's not going to be the full event that we offer for understanding canine behavior, but this is important. Yes, I do get a lot of clients from this. I actually got flown out to Hong Kong to work with clients for 2 weeks just off of these. I believe it's, I got to double check. I'll get back to you. We'll have that information on our website under seminars. But for right now, let me jump into that question with the resume. The resume almost doesn't matter, but it kind of does. If I have somebody that has a resume with 50 years experience, it's like, awesome, they have experience, let's get them in, they have a really good shot. But at the same time, that person's not gonna come in and like start flying and like doing their own thing hands-on. I want that person to really be humble and start from the bottom and work their way up and kind of learn how to fit into our system while keeping a little bit of uniqueness on their own, but learn how to take direction, learn how to not fly the nest, learn how to not fly try to leave the nest too early, learn how to stay humble, and taking directions and doing things at a team is very, very important. I saw that location thing. I'll look into that in a second. But also, if there's someone that's a hard worker and is eager and say, listen, I've walked a couple dogs. I have 2 dogs of my own. I've trained them. I worked at a daycare, but I don't really have. Of course, Catch.me for me. Yes, absolutely. We have over 160 periscopes on Catch.me, I believe. You know, and is okay, like cleaning crates, cleaning poop, you know, starting little by little. That's just a hard worker. I would almost take that over somebody that has 20 years experience that has like this ego of, look, listen, I've been doing this for longer than you, and this is how we do things. I don't want that person. You know what I mean? I want to learn from my staff as much as I'm teaching them. So yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, the resume is a piece of paper. I'll tell you right now, a good portion, I don't want to say majority, but a good portion of my clients with their dogs are experienced, that have certificates up the wazoo, that are bringing me their personal dogs. They're coming first place in agility, or they're canine officers, or they're daycare owners, or they're trainers themselves who are good at what they do. But when the rehab portion, they're coming and they're asking for help, and that's fine. Some people are open about it and we talk about it. Some people, they prefer that I keep their names out of it and just work with it. But the point of it is to show you that certificates and titles and a lot of that stuff is important, but at the end of the day, and this will upset people, it's upset people in the past, it's a piece of paper. And that's what it is. Not every piece of paper is as important as the other. You know, you can be a DCT canine certified dog trainer, and I can be the type of person that has you, in order to get a certificate, you need to have apprentice under me, worked with me, done a workshop, and then studied under me for years, or you work with me for a week for my apprentice program, which is money, and everyone that goes through it gets a certificate. It doesn't necessarily make you good. You know what I mean? So I can go to school, or I can read a book on how to fly a plane, but when I'm done with that, I can understand everything about it. It doesn't necessarily make me a good pilot. So it's there's a mixture of understanding things here, scientifically, but also like being hands-on and having experience, and sometimes there's nothing that can replace experience, and with experience comes making mistakes and doing things good, and so that's why like a resume is important, but it isn't everything, and it's not like the deciding factor for me. I also care a lot about how people are with other people, how they present themselves, how they carry themselves, and I apologize if I'm coming off a little bit nasally. I am sick. Today is my day off, so I had to feel like I was working by doing this scope. But that's something that's important to me. And as far as methods, I want my staff to be creative, and I want us to grow together. Like, I want to be elite, not because of I don't care what people think of us, but I want to know that our team continues to offer things in a way that even if other people are doing it, they're not doing it the way that we're doing it. And that's because of how open-minded we are, how we listen to each other, how we work as a team. All that stuff is really, really important. So my method of dog training is the Bruce Lee method of dog training. That is it right there. And I'll probably do a blog on this, open-minded. So the Bruce Lee quote is, you want a franchise in Boston? I would love to potentially open up another location in Boston. If I do, I've been kind of on the fence figuring out if I want to do like additional locations. If I open up my second location, it's likely going to be down in Florida. I've been actually thinking a lot about it, and it's a lot of work. It would take a whole nother commitment. I mean, like, my level of commitment and stuff. Like, I started the company in 2011, and we're in 2016 now, and I just opened a facility. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's a whole nother degree of like sacrifice getting the current place to run better than it does with me there. You know, all that. It's not even necessarily working with the dogs, because I'm pretty good at that, but it's getting to the point where I don't need to be there. So I don't want to rush a chain restaurant that the first place was good, the second place was good, and then before you know it, it turns into an Applebee's or an Olive Garden. I have no interest in that. So if I do it, I want to do it right. Probably Delray Beach, Boca Raton. That would probably be my area in Florida that I'm looking for. Anywhere between Delray Beach and Miami. Over there, that's where I go once a year to help train dogs, and that's something I would do. Maybe open up a third or another location in Hong Kong, maybe up in Massachusetts, New Hampshire area. That's a couple other places I'm looking at, but Florida, if I do that, would be the second location. So that's that. So I wanted to talk about the new blogs, talk about Bruce Lee. It's my method of dog training. So that if people ask, I can forward them over to this. I'll take a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna cut it because I can barely breathe. Yoda, you're great. You're great, Yoda. I love you. What else do we have for questions, guys? Oh, and we're almost at 1 million hearts. We're almost at 1 million hearts. So guys, keep hearting away. Won't walk on leash, afraid of cords, wires, etc. Yeah, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of a longer leash. And something that's really important when you're doing leash pressure work, Andrew, actually, I think we have footage that we want to turn into a YouTube video that we're going to get out for this. But it's very important that when you use the leash, you use the leash in a way where it's an extension of your body. What's very important is that when you're using the leash, that you're not just using the leash in isolation of what your body is doing, especially when you have a dog like this. Your body needs to speak and offer the same message that your leash is offering. So you have to be mindful of height. You don't want leash pressure going up if you're trying to get the dog to go forward, and you don't want your body to go against leash pressure that's saying come this way while your body's kind of there. So sometimes your body kind of going away is suggestive that I'm not trying to bring you toward me so I can be right on top of you. I'm trying to bring you toward me, and I don't care if you trail me. I'm going to give you the leash back the moment you start making progress this way, and I'm just going to start heading this way. A little bit difficult to explain here since I don't have it, but I do plan on putting a leash pressure video out on YouTube to show you how we get started with some dogs and where they are in the beginning versus where they end up, because that's a big thing that I think people miss, and I believe that a lot of trainers miss that too, right? All right, guys, I'm gonna get going. I'm not quite where I need to be. It sucks. Like having a head cold sucks because like you feel like you're still okay, but it just puts a damper on the whole day. So I'm gonna try to rest up a little bit of vitamin C. We have a lot of good new posts that we just put on the Facebook page. I posted like 10 in a row. So if you guys can help me out, check that out over there. Like those, comment on there. I just posted something on the Instagram page as well. And then hopefully we'll have some new to YouTube videos out in a little bit. If you're new to Periscope, I know as people are starting to lead now, Periscope holds these videos for 24 hours. After that, every Periscope from here on out gets archived on catch.me. That's KATCH.me under the search Dream Come True Canine, and you'll be able to see a lot of those topics. I've also favorited a bunch, and we have a new blog on the way out. You should see our very first blog next week, and we'll get into a rhythm where we will be offering once a week. All right, guys, take care.